Hey YouTube, it's Asa'r. Okay, so as you all know, Jussie Smollett, his charges were dropped. 16 counts of filing false police report. Okay, that should be fine and dandy. People should move on, get a life, get over it. No, it's our people who are mad about it. A few other people, but mainly what surprises me is our own people are mad that his charges were dropped. It's like you want him to be guilty. You want him to be punished. And then you don't want to support anything he does. Okay, why? When these are our people are the ones crying about white privilege this, white privilege that. Well, Jussie Smollett got his charges dropped, which is unheard of. Yes, does he have influence? Yes, he does. But at the end of the day, so does Bill Cosby. So does R. Kelly. I mean, there's other celebrities who are indigenous who have been screwed. Okay, so he wound up having his career saved somewhat for his charges being dismissed or dropped, whichever term you want to use. Okay, it's our own people that try to tear each other down. For what? There's no reason for it. We need to stand in solidarity. Okay? This constantly wanting everyone to fight and be on this bandwagon, not be on that bandwagon, there is no reason for it. We already have a major issue that requires a major surgery that's over 5 centuries overdue on getting our land back. Getting these monsters, these creatures, these Eurasians, you're Caucasian, off of my land, our land. These Mongoloids off and out, off of my land, our land, for them to keep perpetrating our history, our culture, on our land. But no, you want to cry about Jussie Smollett and R. Kelly. You want to fall for the distraction. And then you have Nipsey Hussle, you know, may he rest eternally with the creators, who was slain at the age of 33 on the 31st of March. In the 6 o'clock hour, from what the sources say, the time he was killed, and shot multiple times, up to possibly 6 times. Now, he was working on releasing a documentary on Dr. Sebi, who was pioneering a cure for AIDS and cancer and whatever other ailment you could think of that he possibly could have more than likely had the cure for. We know what happened to Dr. Sebi. He was mysteriously murdered, okay, for this research, so that it would not come out. Because we already know who would not benefit from his research being publicized. The pharmaceutical companies would not go for that. We already know what that was behind. Even Nipsey Hussle said himself, if he is killed for releasing that documentary, to stand behind him. You're standing behind him, but then there's people still tearing him down. Now, this man may not be indigenous to these lands of America. He was Eritrean, so he is actually an African, okay, from Eritrea. He would actually be an African American, okay? So him being an African American would actually fit him because he's from Eritrea, or he was Eritrean. They are African. That is actually in Africa. But you have an Eritrean, an African, that was willing to stand and take on the responsibility to release a documentary on an indigenous man from South America, Dr. Sebi, on research that would benefit not just the people on this land, but the whole world. We need to stop fighting against each other, and we need to stand together in solidarity, because this has gotten out of hand, and I do mean literally. This has completely gotten out of hand. Stop trying to tear each other down, because it's our people, the indigenous people, the so-called black, the so-called African American people, who will tear down their own. For what? Why? We have been literally destroyed culturally, spiritually, by a group of creatures who have no respect for our planet, our plane, hate us, the primordial species of this same plane, and you take orders from a group who have no right to give you orders and tell you what to do on your land. As Dane Calloway has said, do your research. Find out who you are. Wanagi has also said, stand up. Tribes up. Wise up. And rise up. Can we do that? Can we stop fighting each other and focus on what's really important instead of all of the R. Kelly distractions, all of the Jussie Smollett distractions? And I will have to say it, but yes, the Nipsey Hussle thing is a distraction too. It is a sad distraction that this man had to lose his life. His kids had to lose a father. His spouse had to lose a husband. And his family had to lose a child, a cousin, an uncle, a brother, whatever. It's still a distraction. And a fear-mongering tactic too. If you stand up for the truth, you see what happens. See, if you're going to come out with something, people, my people, stop telling the world what you're going to do and just do it. Therefore, you drop your dimes, drop your jewels. Just drop it. Stop telling people what you're going to do before you do it. Because that's how people stop it from happening. Just drop it. Put it out. Don't even give any warning about it. Just, hey, I'm make up in your mind that I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do it, and then do it. Period. Stop telling the world what you're doing. Because there's ears, okay, listening. There's eyes watching you. Period. You start talking about stuff that goes against a certain paradigm and a certain regime, they ain't gonna go for it. Just drop it. Stop being dumb. That is how they killed Malcolm X. That is how they killed Dr. King. That is how they killed Dr. Sebi. That is why they killed Nipsey Hussle. That is why they have killed everyone who tries to progress us. Because they keep opening their damn mouths, saying, I'm going to do this, and, well, the rest is history. Stop telling people what you're going to do and do it. We have been at war for over 5 centuries on our own land, in our own house. It's time to take out the trash. Who is with me? Because I want my land back. I want my culture back. I want my right to live freely on my land back. And all of those who do not belong on my land, our sacred land, needs to go back to Africa. That is where they come from. Not my land of the Americas. This is my land, our ancestors' land, the indigenous, aboriginal Niji of Turtle Island. Okay? Who's with me? Stand with Asa'r Red Feather of the Chickahominy Cherokee tribes from Virginia, Alabama, and Georgia. Stand with me, my Niji. Because we have work to do. Tribes Most High.